All right, we are here today with Malcolm Holcombe. Malcolm, it is great to talk to you again. I was lucky enough to see you perform at a Long Island House Concerts, which is just this amazing venue for a singer-songwriter.
Yeah, Long Island. Yeah, man. Is that where you're living at, Trevor?
Absolutely, my whole life.
Right on. From Long Island. Yeah, been up here a few times.
Yes,
Yeah, thanks for having me this morning. Good morning.
absolutely. Your new album is Tricks of the Trade. The first song you heard leading into this interview was the title track, and you sing about this creepy circus almost with elephants, donkeys, and clowns. Um, wonder exactly. Well, I don't wonder what you're talking about, but what are the tricks of the trade that these politicians are using?
That's a question you got to ask the voters, Trevor.
I don't know what to ask the voters. I mean, it seems like these schemes that these politicians are using should be so easy to see through. I mean, the lies, but people keep falling for them anyway.
Well, one man's lies, another man's truth, Trevor.
That is a very interesting way of looking at things.
It's this is, I think my experience and what I believe that the strength of this country, the strength of the world, the strength of humanity is diversity. Well, there's so much prejudice and uh, that is evident. We need common ground to try to get along with our fellow man and to help them. I'm in the service industry, Trevor. I've worked in restaurants and mowed yards and this sort of thing. But I look at whether it's music, whether it's, especially educators that try to build bridges, try to find a common ground, bring us together, not to separate us. And enlightenment, music can be enlightenment, especially, educators and people throughout history that are not trying to conquer, but conquer and divide, but try to heal and bring people together. With me on that?
Yes. The world certainly needs more people trying to build those bridges. You talk about trying to knock down these walls. Um, you have a song on the album, Shaky Ground, that sort of dreams about a world in which the rain comes and knocks these walls down. What to you is a world without walls? What does that look like?
Camaraderie, common ground, freedom, democracy, equality. And I think we're all struggling for that. Most people want to be loved, want to work, want to be taken care of by their government. It's kind of a utopia, though, isn't it? A world
Yeah,
without walls would be utopia.
I would love to live in that world, but I'm so afraid that just the way things are going right now, we're not headed to that world. We're headed in the opposite direction.
Well, you say we, there's a lot of good things going on in this world too. But you get a funeral on one side of the road and you get a wedding on the other side of the road. You're probably going to get more people, gawking at the funeral than drinking their champagne at the wedding, or their beer or coffee or whatever, tea. So just uh, that's just part of our nature. Because people would rather read the obituaries and read you know, the births, you know, in the newspaper. But that's just generally speaking. But there's a lot of good things going on in the world. You know, I'm so grateful for the current administration. Of course, I'm a little bit left. You know, I'm a hard lefty.
Yeah, I had a feeling with some of the stuff on this
I hope
album.
so. You know, hope you got to drift out of that. But I mean, left or right, you know, you know. Once again, it's just the strength of this country. You know, in particular, is diversity, and that means uh, all different religions and peoples and ethnicity, and it's a uh, look at that. Irish built the railroads around here. A lot of Irish and a lot of coal miners. My wife is adopted. Her uh, adopted grandfather came from St. Petersburg, Russia, and brought 7 children to West Virginia, right outside of Charleston. And Joseph Mikowski worked in the coal mines. So, I mean, there's a lot of stories like that. And, from New England all the way down, I mean, all the way across the country is, immigrants that came into this country and they worked, they built this country. And, you might want to, run across somebody, which I did a few years ago, this woman that traced her ancestry back to the Mayflower. Of course, a lot of people on the Mayflower, were refugees from England. A lot of the undesirables. Not all of them, but I mean, there were some people on on the Mayflower that came from England that were the undesirables. But I'm not an expert on history, but the strength of this country is diversity, and that's what I believe in my experience in traveling around a little bit. And so this record, I hope, reflects different points of view, but that's not up to me to decide what the songs mean, if anything. You pat your foot, you throw it out the window, or you interpret it as you interpret it. Whether it's politics, people interpret situations and things. Well, that's their business how they interpret this radio interview. How they interpret the English language, which is hard as you get 2 or 3 words that have umpteen meanings depending on it's a very difficult language. In my experience, the English language is pretty hard to get a grip on because there's so many different meanings and connotations to the words and definitions, which is up your alley.
Absolutely. No, no, just thinking on the album, when you talk about elephants and donkeys, the English language, you're not just imagining these animals, you're imagining politicians, you're imagining people when you say elephants and donkeys. And it's just a crazy thing that you can say those words and conjure up images of people just as effectively as you can conjure up these images of 4-legged animals.
Well, that's your interpretation. So, we can run with that.
Yes.
This is your show and your interpretation. So
I have a funny feeling that interpretation is what you meant. Just hoping I got that one right. All right, we're going to hear Shaky Ground and we'll be right back.